Continued caution is advised for the year ahead as mounting underlying turmoil could disrupt relations among both developed and emerging market economies. Indicators of recession risk are spurring companies across industries to build a resiliency playbook and plan for other macro risks such as geopolitical instability and the inflammation of trade tensions.
China will continue to provide exciting opportunities and play a leading role in the global fashion industry. But the colossal market is proving harder to crack than brands anticipated. As some successful players become over-reliant on China and others struggle, companies should consider spreading their risk by expanding to other high-growth geographies.
As traditional engagement models struggle on established social media platforms, fashion players will need to rethink their strategy and find ways to maximize their return on marketing spend. Attention-grabbing content will be key, deployed on the right platform for each market, using persuasive calls to action, and, wherever possible, a seamless link to the checkout.
Consumer demand for convenience and immediacy is prompting retailers to complement existing brick-and-mortar networks with smaller format stores that meet customers wherever they are and reduce friction in the customer journey. The winning formula will feature in-store experiences and localized assortments in neighborhoods and suburbs beyond the main shopping thoroughfares.
The global fashion industry is massively energy-consuming, polluting, and wasteful. Despite some modest progress, fashion hasn't yet taken its environmental responsibilities seriously enough. Next year, fashion players need to swap platitudes and promotional noise for meaningful action and regulatory compliance while facing up to consumer demand for transformational change.
Fashion brands are exploring alternatives to today's standard materials, with key players focused on more sustainable substitutes that include recently rediscovered and re-engineered old favorites, as well as high-tech materials that deliver on aesthetics and function. We expect R&D to increasingly focus on material science for new fibers, textiles, finishes, and other material innovations to be used at scale.
Consumers and employees are putting increasing pressure on fashion companies to become proactive advocates of diversity and inclusion. More companies will elevate diversity and inclusion as a higher priority, embed it across the organization, and hire dedicated leadership roles. But companies' initiatives will also come under increasing scrutiny in terms of sincerity and results.
Established fashion brands and retailers will face growing competition from new Asian challengers, as manufacturers and SMEs step out of their traditional roles and sell directly to global consumers. Expect greater competition from hitherto unknown players in the Asian supply chain, who design popular items to sell at affordable prices using cross-border e-commerce platforms.
Traditional trade shows must respond to the increase of direct-to-consumer activity, shorter fashion cycles, and digitization by embracing new roles and fine-tuning their target audience. In a bid to differentiate themselves, or even just to survive, more of these events will add B2C attractions or launch new services and experiences to improve relationships with their traditional B2B audience.
Valuations of fashion tech players have reached dizzying levels, reminiscent of the dot-com boom of the early 2000s. As concern grows in the wider tech sector, there is increasing worry over the ability of fashion tech and digital fashion players to turn potential into profit, despite a slew of high-profile IPOs and private firms achieving unicorn status.